Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. Who do you think will win between the Scarlet Witch and Trigon match? Trigon, an ancient demon and the father of Raven, a member of the Teen Titans, possesses such terrible power that he has destroyed and dominated many universes. He has the ability to manipulate minds, change reality, summon dark creatures, and possesses near immortality. Even a small part of him is enough to cause disaster to Earth. Trigon's power is likened to a living nightmare, where his presence is always accompanied by the apocalypse. Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, meanwhile, is an Omega-level mutant with the ability to manipulate reality through chaos magic. Wanda once rewrote the entire world during the House of M event, and with just one sentence, she wiped out almost all mutants on Earth. Her power far surpasses that of many cosmic entities, especially when she is in a state of disarray or being controlled. Before we dive into the analysis, please hit the subscribe button, and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Trigon is a descendant of a celestial alien race known as the Divine. After merging with the Heart of Darkness, Trigon absorbed the evil gathered from nearly 100 galaxies, turning him into one of the most powerful beings in the universe. One misconception about Trigon is his demonic state. He may have demonic traits, but Trigon is not a Hellion. He is the embodiment of the concept of evil and hatred. Trigon is an incredibly powerful entity known as an interdimensional demon whose power far exceeds limits. He is one of the greatest threats the Teen Titans superhero team has ever faced. Trigon's origins began as the accumulation of evil energies that were expelled from the souls of the inhabitants of Azarath, a dimension that was sacred and pure. However, when that negative energy was compressed and transformed into a form, it created Trigon, the pure embodiment of evil. After his birth, he destroyed all the inhabitants of Azarath as a way to declare his presence in the universe. Trigon continued to expand his power by conquering countless dimensions and different worlds. His ambition knew no bounds. In a major incident, he had a daughter named Raven, the result of his plot to spread darkness into a new dimension. However, Raven was the light that resisted his cruelty, becoming a key member of the Teen Titans. Trigon, realizing the potential in the universe where Raven lived, repeatedly tried to invade and destroy this place. Therefore, Trigon has always been considered the most dangerous and fearsome enemy in the entire history of confrontation between the Teen Titans. Even as a child, he showed his terrifying potential. At the age of only 1 year, Trigon dominated the planet where he was born, demonstrating leadership and control superior to any other creature of his time. At the age of 6, he completely destroyed that planet, a brutal act that clearly demonstrated his destructive nature. By the age of 30, Trigon had taken control of his entire dimension, making him a true interdimensional overlord. Trigon possessed a special ability known as the Death Stare, a gaze that could destroy an entire planet in an instant. In fierce battles, he fought powerful entities such as Mr. Mizzypitik, an omnipotent being from the 5th dimension. Although the battle did not end, the fact that Trigon was able to face Mizzypitik head-on was a clear testament to his superhuman level of power. Additionally, according to the Monitor, Trigon is on par with the Spectre, the embodiment of cosmic vengeance, and one of the most powerful beings to ever exist. Trigon has slaughtered many divine and powerful beings to the point that he can flay their skin and wear it as a trophy. His brutality goes beyond all moral boundaries and clearly shows the heartless and ruthless personality of a ruler of darkness. What is special is that Trigon does not fear supernatural beings like the Phantom Stranger or even the Presence, the entity considered the supreme being of the DC Universe. His presence brings destruction, and there are very few entities capable of confronting or even surviving for long under his influence. With limitless desire, he does not stop at conquering just one world or one dimension, but also nurtures the ambition to control all realities in the multiverse. Trigon's power is so great that he can completely destroy the Earth with just a thought. In confrontations with superheroes, Trigon has destroyed entire armies without having to use all his strength. A typical example is when the hero Kara Zor-El, also known as Supergirl, could not explain how Triumph, a character who is thought to be destroyed, could survive Trigon's fierce rage on the planet where he was rampaging. Trigon has easily conquered countless dimensions. Not only that, he also has a loyal following who worship him as a dark god. These people believe that Trigon is the embodiment of ultimate power, the one who brings about the reconstruction of the universe through complete destruction. That makes him even more dangerous because he not only possesses unparalleled power, but also has a wide spiritual influence in the dark dimensions. He can absorb and imprison the souls of entire universes within his own being, turning them into an eternal source of power. He is an enemy that transcends all conventional standards of good and evil, a threat not only to superheroes, but to the balance of all multidimensional reality. Trigon is an entity of evil nature. He was originally the ruler of a distant and unknown planet. Although his power was formidable at the time, Trigon's fate took a completely different turn when three powerful beings known as the Divine appeared with the goal of purifying his dark soul. These three entities summoned an ancient power called the Heart of Darkness, a quintessential embodiment of evil gathered from hundreds of galaxies, with the purpose of erasing all the evil in Trigon's soul. Instead of being destroyed, Trigon proved that he was more than just a powerful being. Not only did he resist the Heart of Darkness, but he also completely absorbed the terrible energy into his own being. As a result, Trigon became a transcendent being, possessing the power to destroy countless planets and spread terror. After receiving his new power, Trigon killed three divine beings. In a cruel and treacherous move, he revealed that the three beings were his biological parents. He brutally tore them apart and wore their skin as a symbol of his absolute evil dominance. He was willing to destroy any blood ties if it stood in the way of his goal of power. Although he was unable to penetrate the spiritual barrier set up by the Divine to protect other dimensions, Trigon deployed a more sinister strategy. He used his power to summon women from different worlds to him. After forcing them to mate, Trigon impregnated them and then returned them to their home planet. The hybrids they produced became Trigon's tools, carrying the dark blood and acting as evil seeds to sow destruction on an interplanetary scale. Trigon was granted a kind of immortality in which he could not die of natural causes, such as old age, but could be killed by unnatural causes. And Trigon could return if he were destroyed along with his soul. Trigon has brought storms to Earth. Trigon uses his magic to create a magic attack called Hellfire. This attack weakens the power of Swamp Thing. He can also use magic to warp reality. Because his magic has distorted reality, he has reshaped the Earth in his own image. Deadman cannot possess Trigon or Mr. Mxyzptlk. Trigon can create illusions, and because of that, he has always been considered one of the ontological threats, far beyond the scope of ordinary gods or heroes. Subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best, thank you very much. The Scarlet Witch, also known by her real name Wanda Maximoff, is one of the most powerful entities in the entire superhero universe. She has defeated massive, destructive creatures single-handedly without any assistance. Wanda has also defeated Kayama Inoue, a dangerous opponent with supernatural powers. She has also been able to single-handedly confront an army created from ancient legends. Her younger brother, Quicksilver, is one of the few individuals capable of traveling faster than radio waves, which have surpassed the speed of light. Wanda has survived extremely dangerous attacks from many powerful entities. She has not been defeated by attacks from Chaos entities whose abilities far surpass those of the Lord of Chaos and the King of Chaos. In addition, she has survived an energy blast from Dr. Doom and a powerful spell from the Green Witch. She has even survived an attack from Captain America's shield with the spiked blade touching her neck. For her, the past, present, and future are a unified whole, inseparable. This is a clear manifestation of her ability to manipulate reality and time. Not only that, Wanda also once came into contact with and absorbed the true essence of the Darkhold, an ancient book containing the most powerful dark magic that has ever existed. It is extremely rare for an individual to be able to tap into the Darkhold while still retaining their ego, and Scarlet Witch has done so, affirming her almost unrivaled position in the system of magical power and cosmology. Scarlet Witch, also known as the Scarlet Witch, her energy was once used as a means to weaken the resurrection ability of Set the Elder Goat, one of the most ancient and powerful entities. Set is the brother of three primal entities, Chthon, Gaia, and Ashtor, who play a pivotal role in magical mythology. She also turned Agamotto, one of the three Vishanti and creator of the Eye of Agamotto, against Doctor Strange, who is considered the ultimate in magic. Scarlet Witch was able to destroy an entire army of dark forces which were made up of evil creatures of the dark. She also used her telepathic abilities to subdue Starro, an alien with the ability to control minds, and banished him from Earth. Her psychic powers were also demonstrated when she resisted the influence of the Serpent Crown, a powerful magical artifact that grants its user extremely high levels of telepathic abilities. Scarlet Witch is not only a warrior but also a cunning mage. One of her noble goals was to cure the global witch disease, a magical disorder that can turn magic users into threats to humanity itself. Scarlet Witch possesses the ability to easily summon and materialize entities such as android robots to fight by her side. These machines are not mere simulations but real, with their own physical structure and fighting power. Acting as loyal allies on the battlefield, Scarlet Witch's most groundbreaking action was her proactive use of magic to bind the Darkhold to her own soul. Through the combination of the Darkhold and her personal magic, Wanda has deeply influenced an ancient god, a powerful entity that has caused cosmic upheavals. Not stopping at subduing, Scarlet Witch also sealed this god inside her soul, turning him into a locked part of her spiritual entity. With just a wave of her hand, Scarlet Witch can push dark entities back to their original dimensions, completely erasing the corrupting influence caused by the Darkhold. She can create magical portals that connect to lower dimensions, including the darkest and most inhospitable hells in the universe. Not only can she create these portals, she can also use them as strategic attacks, sending enemies into isolated reality bubbles where they are cut off from the main time and space continuum before they are even aware of what is happening. Wanda to summon large amounts of chaotic energy to stun her opponents. Before Scarlet Witch said, "No more monsters," she was powerful enough to be a threat to the Omniverse. When she changed the reality of Earth 616, magic/chaos waves spread throughout the Omniverse. Scarlet Witch has killed many key members of the X-Men, including Magneto, who is believed to be her father in many storylines, and Storm, a warrior with the ability to control the weather. She once easily defeated Doctor Doom with a single strike, despite him being one of the most dangerous and intelligent beings on Earth. In another battle, Scarlet Witch clashed with the goddess Nyx, an ancient being who was able to fight on par with Zeus himself. Not only did she stand her ground against Nyx's power, but she also demonstrated god-level combat prowess. The energy shield created by Scarlet Witch can also withstand attacks with cosmic energy levels, most notably a blow from Namor while he was in possession of the Phoenix Force. The Phoenix Force was one of the most primal and destructive energies. The fact that she was able to block it shows that Wanda's defensive and offensive capabilities are extremely terrifying. She held Thanos back with one hand, destroyed an Infinity Stone with the other, all the while knowing that her actions were killing the man she loved. It was intense, and she actually had to hold Thanos back. Wanda is the only Avenger in Infinity War shown to be capable of actually holding her own against the Mad Titan. Sure, you could argue that Captain America did too, but he needed two hands to Thanos' one and still wasn't really successful, and he's a super soldier. Even Hulk was tossed around by Thanos. Wanda stood her ground and succeeded. She destroyed the stone. Thanos was even impressed with her, although he only used the Time Stone to reverse her actions and took the Mind Stone for himself. Scarlet Witch is not just a powerful mage, she is a multiversal threat, a character not to be underestimated under any circumstances. Subscribe to the channel, it helps us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best, thank you very much. At the crossroads between dimensions, known as the Nexus of Realities, the intersection of countless realities, an ancient evil force appeared, Trigon. His body was so huge that it seemed to fill the sky. His entire body covered in a burning hellfire that radiated evil energy that distorted the surrounding space. Every step he took caused the fabric of reality to crack. In the midst of that chaotic and haunting scene, Scarlet Witch stood alone, powerful and without allies, without help. Her face was cold, her demeanor exuded a supernatural toughness. Wanda's eyes, after the accumulation of personal losses and betrayal from those closest to her, were now bottomless pits. Trigon, with the arrogant nature of an evil god who had conquered hundreds of worlds, regarded her as an insect that was not worth worrying about. He laughed loudly, mocking her presence as a joke. But Wanda did not retreat. Not afraid, not trembling, she raised her head, returning a cold, chilling stare, a look filled with silent defiance that was as heavy as 1,000 storms. In that moment, the magic around her began to swirl, not with ornate incantations, but with something more primal. Trigon starting the confrontation by summoning the deepest dark magic. He used spells from the dimension of damnation, creating thousands of illusions that took on ever-changing forms. Each illusion was born from the fear in Scarlet Witch's subconscious, recreating the painful memories, losses, and failures she had experienced, causing the space around her to shatter under the immense psychological pressure. However, Wanda Maximoff was not one to succumb to fear. In the midst of the chaos, she summoned chaos magic, a chaotic and unfathomable magic. With this power, she not only protected herself, but also bent reality, turning the illusions and obsessions Trigon created into a source of counterattack. Nightmares now became tools in her hands, transformed into weapons capable of stabbing back into the minds of her enemies. The space around them began to crumble layer by layer. Layers of reality overlapped and warped continuously. Time ceases to be a linear flow and begins to go haywire, sometimes moving so fast that centuries occur in a second, and sometimes reversing as if every moment. For a moment, Trigon seems to have won. He delivers the final blow by absorbing Wanda's physical form into a vortex of spectral chaos, seemingly swallowing her entire being. But it is only a projection of a version of chaos created by the Scarlet Witch herself as a distraction. While Trigon mistakenly believes he has eliminated her, the real Wanda is in a neighboring dimension, preparing for a fatal counterattack. In her final moment of defiance, Wanda Maximoff invokes an ancient spell of chaos magic, a form of magic lost millennia ago. This spell is not simply an offensive tool, but a ritual that alters reality on a fundamental level. With unimaginable precision and power, Wanda restructured the very nature of the space around her, creating a new dimension where all emotion, will, and consciousness were stripped away. This dimension was a soulless reality, where any entity that existed with will, emotion, or ambition would gradually disintegrate. In that moment, Trigon, an evil god whose nature depended on fear and chaos to survive, was immediately severely affected. He began to weaken. The hellfires around him faded, his power became fragmented, disconnected from every familiar layer of reality. When he tried to resist, Wanda was unyielding. She pushed the entire energy of the spell into the newly created dimension, forcing Trigon to become an inseparable part of it. Cut off from his emotions, Trigon's giant body began to crack into pieces, then crumbled into red dust. Each grain of ash like a soul burned, unable to regenerate, unable to escape. His soul, torn from his body, did not disappear, but was trapped forever in the dimension designed by Wanda herself. It was a prison without walls, without barriers, but also without a way out. For an entity like Trigon, it was not just a defeat, but an eternal punishment, the most severe punishment that Scarlet Witch had ever given. And the winner is Scarlet Witch. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much.